Several new developments in South suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said,
Rumors are circulating about a significant change in the ongoing story between Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dalton, Illinois, and her former assistant, who is now a whistleblower. This time, the controversy is more outrageous than ever. Carmen now, keep your seats tight, for this tale transports us to a world of treachery, corruption, including a purported murder attempt. Mayor Henyard actually employed gang members to quiet the one person who is aware of all of her secrets, in my opinion. I know it seems like a movie, but this is real, and everything seems conceivable in this little Illinois town. Let's explore the drama and find out what's really happening.
Who has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands.
Who is Carmen Carlisle exactly, and why has her name come to dominate the conversation? Carmen Carlisle wasn't always as a faithful, confident, and trusted assistant to Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Carmen had a front row seat to some of the mayor's most delicate affairs. For a while, she appeared to be perfectly happy in Henyard's inner circle, taking advantage of the advantages of being close to power, and some claim even profiting from dubious operations that involved misusing city monies for private benefit. She was viewed as a significant ally, was privy to an administration's secrets that were coming under more and more scrutiny. But everything changed recently when Carmen made a startling self-disclosure by deciding to expose her old employer rather than sink with the ship, a decision that many saw as self-preservation. Henyard Granny was turned on by Carmen to illuminate a trove of devastating information that has rocked Dalton. Her revelations have painted a damning picture of alleged financial misconduct and an impropriety-filled leadership style, further complicating Henyard's already troubled reputation. Critics described it as a classic story of loyalty falling apart under pressure as Carmen turns from an enabler to a whistleblower trying to save her own skin. Her actions have left the town divided, with some people holding differing opinions. Defending accountability as a hero, while some view Carmen as an opportunist who only spoke up when it suited her interests, regardless of the reason. Her decision to turn on her former ally has intensified the drama surrounding the Henyard administration and brought fresh issues and debates to the forefront of Dalton's political conversation.
That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next.
Who is Carmen Carlisle exactly, and why has her name come to dominate the conversation? Carmen Carlisle wasn't always as a faithful, confident, and trusted assistant to Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Carmen had a front row seat to some of the mayor's most delicate transactions. For a while, she appeared to be perfectly content in Henyard's inner circle, taking advantage of the benefits of being close to power. Now, the whistleblower is stirring up trouble in Dalton politics. Carmen was considered a key ally with access to the secrets of an administration that was coming under increasing scrutiny, and some even claim that she benefited from dubious schemes involving the misappropriation of city funds for personal gain. However, everything changed recently when Carmen made a stunning decision to expose her former boss rather than go down with the ship, which many interpret as self-preservation rather than altruism. Carmen switched on Henyard. Critics describe it as a classic story of loyalty turning to treachery under duress, as Carmen transitions from being an enabler to a whistleblower trying to protect her own skin with her actions. Her revelations have uncovered a damning picture of alleged financial misconduct and a leadership style riddled with impropriety, further complicating Henyard's already troubled reputation. Have caused division in the community. Some see her as a hero for advocating for responsibility. The drama surrounding Henyard's administration has intensified as a result of Carmen's decision to turn on her former ally, bringing new issues and controversies to the forefront of Dalton's political discourse. However, some view her as an opportunist who only spoke up when it suited her interests regardless of motivation.
Body, is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You do that.
Let's stand back and consider the reasons Tiffany Henyard could be so anxious to keep quiet. Carmen Carlisle Henyard has been the subject of intense scrutiny for a considerable amount of time due to growing accusations of corruption and misappropriation of public funds. These accusations have presented a concerning picture of financial mismanagement and personal indulgence at the expense of the town's resources. One of the most striking allegations is the revelation that Henyard allegedly spent an astounding $33,000 in a single day on Amazon. Amount that has many residents wondering how such extravagant spending could be justified in a town already struggling financially. But the Amazon spree is only the beginning. Henyard has also been accused of making dubious charges on the town's credit cards, including expensive purchases at upscale stores like Target, Walgreens, and Wayfair. Many residents feel that these purchases have no real connection to the needs of Dalton's residents, which only heightens suspicions that he may have been using public funds for personal expenses. As the accusations continue to mount, residents' indignation has been heightened by the lack of transparency and oversight around this spending, leaving them to question how their hard-earned tax funds are being squandered. Henyard's reputation has suffered greatly, and she is now desperate to keep everything under control and stay out of trouble. Because she was once privy to the inner workings of Henyard's administration, Carmen Carlisle's choice to come forward is crucial because she has important information that could reveal the full scope of the mayor's. Henyard's suspected misbehavior corrals cooperation with federal investigators poses an existential threat. If her testimony is made public, it could be the last straw for her already waning political career. Panicked, Henyard tries to keep quiet. Thus, Carlisle's urgency to protect Dalton stems from her worry that the whistleblower's revelations will bring her financial troubles into the public eye and result in legal repercussions that could terminate her political career and possibly land her in jail. Herself away from these terrible, as the investigation goes on, it becomes more evident that Henyard's attempts to conceal her actions are motivated by a desire to protect her own interests at all costs, regardless of the harm it may cause to the town or its residents. These revelations could explain why Henyard might go to enormous lengths to stop Carlisle, even if it means using violence or intimidation.
Make a one day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is,
from a comfortable surplus of $5.61 million to a startling deficit of $3.65 million, Dalton's finances have suffered a disastrous plunge under Tiffany Henyard's leadership. In addition to rendering the town insolvent, her actions have made life more difficult for the locals, who are now calling for accountability and answers. Many people are curious about how their tax funds have been used by Henyard's management of Dalton's resources. Been wasted in the middle of this financial crisis with no obvious advantages to the community. Henyard, who frequently positions herself as the super mayor and the people's boss, is now in even more danger. Carmen Carlisle, her former ally, is testifying against her. What about Carmen's testimony has shaken people so much? Carmen knows where all the symbolic bodies are buried. She was there by the side of the henhouse, witnessing and taking part in the very crime she is now accusing her former boss of planning. Given her knowledge, she is a very dangerous adversary who has the potential to topple Henyard's entire political empire. Henyard's frustration extends beyond her fear of losing her job. It also stems from the very real possibility of facing legal repercussions. If Carmen's evidence turns out to be as reliable as it seems, Henyard could face serious criminal charges and possibly lengthy jail time, which would further put additional strain on her already precarious administration. Henyard is tense. She also faces a growing list of opponents who want to see her removed from the office. One of them is Lori Lightfoot, the former mayor of Chicago, who was recently hired to carry out a special investigation into Henyard's dubious spending practices. Henyard made a valiant effort to stop the investigation, claiming it violated the Constitution's authority as mayor, but the town board overruled her objections, and Lightfoot is proceeding with the probe. The stakes are higher than ever, and Dalton's future now hangs in the balance as Henyard finds herself fighting for her political survival against an increasing wave of opposition. Carmen's shocking testimony has put Henyard in a precarious position, with the possibility of both political and legal ruin looming large as the walls close in around her. Her desperation to maintain control grows more apparent, but her efforts to suppress the truth seem to be unraveling faster than she can manage.
Shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
Thus far, the results are dismal. In addition to Dalton's budget being in ruins, there are a lot of mysterious expenses that point to widespread recreational abuse. The scenario is made even more absurd by the fact that Tiffany Henyard appears to be able to act without consequence in spite of the growing number of accusations made against her. She still holds considerable influence in Dalton and is mostly unaffected by the fallout from her activities, according to some. She has established a stronghold of loyalty around herself by using a mix of intimidation and patronage to keep her enemies at bay and her allies close. However, how is she able to keep such control in a town overrun with federal feral investigators and local police? One theory that has gained traction is that Henyard may have ties to the local criminal underworld. This rumor has gained even more weight after the possibility that Carmen Carlisle Henyard, the former ally who turned whistleblower, may be using a local gang to carry out her dirty work, particularly in silencing those who threaten her power, has become a reality. After all, if Henyard is willing to misuse taxpayer funds for extravagant shopping sprees and luxury trips, what would stop her from taking even more drastic measures to protect herself in her position? Frightening thought for many. Even though this theory is speculative, considering the pattern of dubious spending, her seeming lack of accountability, and the rising violence in her administration. Additionally, ongoing reports of her ability to avoid political and legal consequences have stoked suspicions that her control over Dalton may be more than just a political ploy. As federal investigators and locals alike try to piece together the extent of her alleged wrongdoing, it's possible that it's also intricately linked to the criminal elements that lurk beneath the surface. As the threat of more revelations looms, it becomes more uncertain how far she might go to maintain her power and what extent she might be willing to do so.
Debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany.
The township residents are paying for her father's expenses, and there have even been rumors that she planned an attack on a rival politician who dared to publicly criticize her. Keep in mind that Henyard has already been linked to criminal elements. She was imprisoned for criminal trespassing to automobiles back in 2016, and previous cases show that she isn't afraid to use force to get what she wants. If these rumors are true, they present a terrifying image of a mayor who will do whatever it takes to maintain power, even if that means using violence. Let's take a look at the surrounding image. Dalton, which was previously a rather wealthy town, is now beset by debt and a population that is becoming increasingly resentful and disillusioned due to Henry's alleged corruption and theft. More is being revealed by the ongoing FBI investigation than merely financial mismanagement is exposing a pattern of abuse where public funds were allegedly utilized for personal pleasures. Henyard reportedly used government funds to maintain a luxurious lifestyle, including first-class flights, five-star hotel stays, and even personal security. Her actions have also resulted in unpaid invoices. Despite being fired and even intimidated with police cars, the detail is comparable to that of a well-known celebrity. I'm sure you guys had a great time on taxpayer money, but what do we get out of any of these trips? Nothing. The irony is not lost on the people of Dalton. As one irate resident stated at a recent town meeting, "You're not accountable. You don't respect people who don't agree with you. You're not qualified for that seat." These are strong words, but they reflected a growing sentiment among the town's residents that then. Her days in the office are running out, and many people are clamoring for her to leave. They think that she will eventually be fired, either by the government or by the people themselves. I'm going to discuss certain issues as the supervisor, but there won't be any comments. I'm just here to let you know that the people of Doane are sick of Henry's antics and are demanding justice. There have been discussions about protest petitions and even a recall election because they want their town back and won't allow a so-called. The ongoing investigations, which seem to turn up new allegations almost every day, have increased the sense of urgency. The FBI, state prosecutors, and even the Illinois Attorney General are all focusing on Doane, making it clear that the days of unchecked power for Henyard are quickly coming to an end. Despite all of this chaos, Henyard has made it clear that she has no intention of resigning and that she will continue to deny all accusations even as the walls close in around her, accusing them of being unfounded attacks by political rivals and irate former workers. But the evidence is growing, and it's getting harder for Henyard to deny the allegations against her, particularly now that Carmen Carlo has made the dramatic transition from ally to whistleblower. The stakes are higher than ever before because the government is constantly looking into people close to her, and that's what they're doing here. Fans also have opinions, and they're not keeping them to themselves. One viewer said, "Remember that a whistleblower is someone who came forward on their own and someone who agreed to avoid being prosecuted as an informant by the government." Justice makes it quite evident that Carmen isn't truly a hero in this tale. Rather, she is only protecting herself, and her motivations are anything but noble. Although we all knew she was a whistleblower, another admirer said she didn't mean to apologize. She just didn't want to be in her position. Another viewer added that after years of enjoying the benefits, everyone wants to be a whistleblower. This statement reflects a broader perception that perhaps Carmen is more opportunistic than generous, switching sides when it's more convenient for her. I disagree with Tiffany's claim that she didn't steal all of this money or create all of this mess alone. Rather, she's bringing everyone who participated down with her. This claim captures the complexity of the situation, which involves not just one dishonest mayor, but a network of people who have either supported or turned a blind eye to her actions. The Doane system as a whole appears to be in a state of disrepair, and as the investigations continue, it appears likely that more heads will roll. Comment below with your thoughts on this bizarre situation involving Mayor Henyard. Do you think Carmen is a true whistleblower, or is she just trying to keep herself from sinking with the ship? If so, is her arrest imminent, or will she somehow avoid another bullet? Check back for more details on this unfolding drama.